Okay, we're going to talk today a little bit about no more colic with nutrition response testing. So, a lot of times people will say like, "Hey, do you guys can you work with babies?" And we have little itty bitties. I mean, sometimes they're just days old. They're just the sweetest little things. We had this bundle this morning in here, and I didn't want to let him go. It was amazing to have this little dude cuddled up against me. But so sometimes colic, here's what we see. In the world of root causes, there's typically not just one. So we want to get to root cause, but there's often, I describe it as like there are a few over here and there might be a few here, and they come together like this and they create a fancy little knot in the body. And what nutrition response testing can do is slowly but surely start to kind of, untie those knots and cords and untangle this knot that's together. So you can start to disentangle those root causes because they like to play with each other. And so there really never is just one answer. So certainly we look at food because that's an easy place to start. And it's an easy place for mom to start because I think it just leaves mom, it leaves you feeling empowered that you know that there's a place to go when you can, that you can start to look on your own. Now, the flip side of that is it can get super frustrating when you're like, I've tried this and I've tried that and I took this out and I put this back in. And sometimes it's not long enough for that sensitive little, gut or brain or heart from the baby. And sometimes you can see a difference like almost right away with just taking something out of one meal or two meals or for a day or two or a week. And you can really see a difference. It depends on that baby. It depends on what the problem is. So yes, we look at food. Now, one kind of maybe myth, I think, is when people think of now nutrition response testing, they think about just food. And that isn't the only stressor that we look for in this work. We look at toxicity, we look at immune challenges, we look at all the pathogens, we look at environmental toxicity, we look at vaccines, particularly with these wee little bitties. We look at stress. Okay, so a lot of these babies are stressed. We had a recent baby in here that was really, mom was the problem. Initially, we could see that first layer, because when you have a stressed out baby, what do you have? You have a super stressed out mom. So we were actually testing baby completely separate of mom to just take that part of the picture away. And by I can't remember, maybe the third or fourth visit, we started to get to like, okay, there's the pathogen, there's the problem. I can see root cause for this baby's, colic, if you want to call it that. So I want to say back in my doula days, colic was defined as like a baby cries for more than 3 hours a day, more than 3 days a week, and for more than 3 weeks, something like that. But I mean, sometimes we have these little fussers and they just kind of cry all the time unless they are held in a certain position, unless they are nursed in a certain position, things like that. So we want to get to the bottom of that colic. Certainly taking the anti-inflammatory foods out is just an easy place to start. If you haven't taken things out like gluten, dairy, sugar, that's just really easy to do across the top and quite manageable for most people. And you might find your answer in there. It may be something else, but you may find but just by decreasing the inflammation from removing those foods, maybe it handles, at least temporarily. But then we want to know. And then here's the deal. If you're breastfeeding, we will give the baby supplementation to mom, and baby will get it through the milk. If baby is being supplemented 100%, or I shouldn't say supplemented, but bottle fed, then we can do liquids, and we can find remedies that work, supplemental remedies that will work for that baby, to put straight into the bottle or straight in the mouth, depending on what that is. So I've also seen in the world of colic, moms and dads, a baby is pooping or not pooping, baby is bloated or too skinny, or baby doesn't look like they're thriving. Baby's got reflux, okay, things like that. So we can check digestive points, we can check allergy points on these babies to figure out why are they so uncomfortable. And then, as I said earlier, when you have an uncomfortable baby, look at the environment around you, right? We usually have then a pretty uncomfortable family. People aren't sleeping, dynamics get a little testy. Nobody wants a stressed out baby, nobody wants a stressed out mama. So those are some things to think about if there's someone in your life who has got a wee one and they're dealing with colic or kind of any of those baby issues. We certainly can help here at My Healthy Beginning. You can give us a call, 612-418-3801, or find us online at myhealthybeginning.com. Thanks for joining.